Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Hope everybody's having a fantastic beginning to their week. It's Tuesday night. What we all up to? Chat is lit up already. I'll catch up with everybody in just a moment. So, what can we say? Round 6, halfway through our season. We are on the downhill stretch to the championship here now, and it is definitely getting spicy here at DMJ Vroom Room, North America. So tonight's docket, ladies and gentlemen, a 40-minute race followed up or started off with a 15-minute qualifying run. It is a mandatory racing hard tire tonight. The pit window is at the end of lap 4. Weather is SO1, and it is at midnight at a times 13 rate. So it's going to be interesting, needless to say, here tonight. Nice montage. You like that, Chris? Hey, you know your guys' is next, right? We love you guys. Seriously, some great moments from last week's race there showing on the screen. We had to throw some funny music to that one. I'm sorry. We had no choice. I love you guys. I really do. You know that, right? All right, moving through. Next screen. Round 6, Tokyo Expressway, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Pro Division. It's presented by DMJ Vroom Room. Partnered with LWR Designs and DDR. Much love to High Pre Graphics. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Alright, now that we got that done screaming at me here. Fantastic. Alright. So, let's go through our season details, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? It is 5 times tire wear for the season. It is also 3 times fuel consumption. So every time these guys and gals go around the racetrack, they're using 5 laps worth of tire wear, and 3 laps worth of fuel every time they go around. It is BOP, so balance of performance is turned on with no tuning allowed. Traction control system and anti-lock braking system are the only assists the drivers are allowed to use in the series. The damage is heavy. Slipstream track edge are real. We do use, of course, track limit penalties on the weak system. We use flag rules as well here to help enforce our indiscretions here on the racetrack that happen from time to time. It is a grid start with a false start check, so the drivers have to make sure they don't try to jump that light. They will get heavily penalized for that at race start. It is a refuel speed of 5 liters per second here this series. It is on race for real settings, and the mandatory tire must be used for at least 1 full circuit lap. So that does not include the in lap or the out lap. So you pit, you take the mandatory tire. In this case, it's the racing hard tire. You strap it on, you run around for that lap and another lap, and then you can go ahead and change that tire, of course, if that's what you choose to do. It is a 40-minute race with a 15-minute qualifying run ahead of time. Again, racing hard tire is our mandatory tire. The pit window opens at the end of lap 4. And, well, we're starting to race off here at midnight, so the streets are quiet here in Tokyo tonight. We've got them all blocked off. And the boys and girls are going to go and tear them up. I hope we're all ready for this. Alright, so there we go. A little look at what we got up in store for us here. So again, the production crew doing some work here as always for us here at DMJ and GT45 Gaming, giving us a little look at what's going on around the track. We're going to be joined here by a guest as well in just a short little while here. So, Tokyo. What are the drivers up against here tonight? Never mind the fuel and the tire wear. They have to drive those racing hard tires in late conditions, so the tire surface is going to be very cool. Grip might be a bit of a problem here in the early goings of this race until we start to see maybe a little bit of sunrise potentially at the end of this race, and that's only potentially as morning comes. From there, well, the drivers are surrounded by walls all the way around this racetrack. There is 3 lanes in some areas and 2 lanes in others, and the track at a couple of spots really narrows in on these drivers where really single file is really the only way to go, or somebody's going to pay the price for it. There are certain spots on this racetrack that do require a little bit of patience from our drivers and, well, maybe a little bit of courage if they're going to send one in there, I suppose, but we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. It's going to be a spicy one tonight. That's for sure. Driver to look out for here tonight, in my opinion, is going to be Nolander Gaming. We're going to have a close eye on Nolander Gaming here. I know for a fact that this is ultimately one of his top tracks when it comes to Gran Turismo racing. And from what I've seen in practice, the man has been flying. Nolander could be playing a big role in the top end of this race here today. So we'll have to see how qualifying goes for all the drivers. How are we doing for time? Oh, we are doing beautiful for time. Alright, let's catch up with all you amazing viewers out there. Oh, and there's a ton of alerts coming in. All right, let's catch up here. We got Danny coming in with the thumbs up on the stream. We've got Pete coming in with the thumbs up, and Aaron Benson coming in with that thumbs up. We got Cody Bass coming in with the thumbs up on the stream. Murray Estes coming in with that thumbs up. Paymate coming in with the like and the share. Appreciate that extra level support, my dude. Chris coming in with that thumbs up. Egon coming in with that thumbs up as well on the stream. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I see a dot in the mix. Aye, we are going to be joined by the legend himself, Mr. D.90, our resident host over in the Europe division here at DMJ Brew Room. He's going to come and hop in the box and pop this thing off with us here tonight. Love the music. Thanks, Petey. Appreciate you. Did you just get your hair cut? Ooh, maybe. Nice montage. Appreciate you, Chris. Let's go B-Fam. Facts. I'm excited to see what Nolander could do here. Nolander's had a tough start to his season. He could definitely use that big confidence boost. We got Pete coming with that share as well. Appreciate that extra level support. And Payme coming. We got that one. Sorry, Chris coming in with that share as well. We also have Paul Blomstrom and OGR Toolshed coming in with the heart on the stream. Everybody viewing at YouTube, we see you, we love you, we appreciate you. For some reason, we just don't get our alerts. Coming now, mate, just hitting live. Yeah, you'll see me in the Discord. Just pop in, my guy. Alright, so let's talk about Tokyo a little tiny bit, shall we? Let's get rid of this, and let's take a look at this. Again, track provided by Miss Devious, our Special Operations Administrator here at GT45 Gaming. And she puts in a ton of work into these maps. So this is what we're looking at here. There's a lot of information on here. There's a lot of sectors on here, so just bear with me here. And this is kind of going to be a tough one to follow just because of the way the racetrack is designed. So the start-finish line is right at the top center of the track outline, ladies and gentlemen. The dark gray area, you see the little red line there. That's pit lane entry and exit right there. There's a little blue arrow pointing towards the left-hand side of the screen. That's going to be the direction we're running our track here tonight. So the drivers are going to take off, and they're going to head towards the left-hand side of our track map. That's going to take us down a super long straightaway. There's a little kink in there. That's called Mayhem. And then that takes us up another lengthy long run, and then that takes us into our first real corner here at Tokyo, and it is right on the left hand side of the screen there, almost poking out the edge of the screen there. That is that's got to be a 220 degree turn by the time it's all said and done, if not more, and it basically takes us right to the other side of the expressway, and that is Toll Plaza. So once we come through turn 1, that takes us into turn 2, which is the same sector essentially, and then that takes us up into where you see the E1, and then from there, this is where it gets confusing. Instead of backtracking to the start finish line, it loops over an overpass into turn 3, which I believe turn 3 is actually called Mayhem. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had myself confused there. And then it takes us down towards the bottom part of the track map. So turn 4, I can't quite read that on my version at the moment. It takes us down in through turn 5, which is called Bullet Train. And the reason why that is there's a monorail Bullet Train overpass at that point in the racetrack there. Then that takes us down into the bottom sector of the racetrack, turns 6, 7, 8, and 9. So a whole bunch of different corners there, and I just don't have my big map up right now. But the chicane that everybody either makes or breaks it, and we're calling ghost, because, well, I die in that chicane guaranteed 2 out of every 3 times I go through it. So we've amply named it as myself in honor of my dying race cars. We have Mantis there, of course, and then we follow through up towards the right hand side of the track map, and this is all pretty much high speed for the most part. Very little braking. The most braking you're going to see in that whole bottom section of the racetrack is really going into the Go chicane, and then that takes us back out for a long run with some kinks and some curves, but they're all high speed curves, and then that takes us over to the right hand side of our track map, and that's turns 12 and 13 there, and that's just a big long double apex 180 degree corner. You got to be very careful there. You come in with too much speed, you're going to hit some walls. You come in with not enough speed, you're going to hit some walls. So it's a delicate balance coming around there. You're going uphill and then around the corner into the second part of the 180, back downhill towards the long straight run back down to the start finish line. Slipstream here can be massively a factor, ladies and gentlemen. So, a little bit of what we got going on here tonight at Tokyo. We are doing beautiful for time here. I'm missing one driver, I believe, and I think that's just because I left one too many spots open in the lobby. Alright, so was in, of course, the driver's shed, the driver's garage here at Tokyo, having a chat with the drivers before I moved my way over into the commentary box here. And boy, these drivers, you can tell that they're having fun. They're doing a little trash talking in behind the scenes. They're poking at each other a little bit. Yeah, they're trying to throw some juju at each other to see to psych each other out before the race. So qualifying, I think tonight, folks, is going to be pretty incredible. I think it's going to be super close. This lobby has just been heating up as each round has been progressing here, and it is a very heavy M6 filled race here tonight. We got one driver that's not in an M6 right now on the racetrack, so yeah, it's going to be a good one. Alright, we're going to wait for our co-host here as well before we fire everything off, so if there's any track that may bring a red flag into play, it might be Tokyo here this week. I don't know, Seaside always has that potential. Of course, we've seen turns 2 and 3 Hollow Bones last week provide quite a bit of spicy racing action in the early parts of the race at the race start last week. So Tokyo's much the same, and that's just because there's no runoff. There's nowhere for the drivers really to go if they get caught up in a bad situation. You have the lane beside you, and then you have a wall. So the drivers are really going to have to exercise some extreme patience and skill on the racetrack here tonight, without a question of a doubt. And there we go. We got the legend just popping up into the lobby here right now. And we got the legend up in the chat here right now with us as well. So let's get that little bippity boop there off. Let's get that on.
Doing broski, good?
Good. Alright, chat, let me know how good you can hear D, and I'll make some adjustments here.
No, you're good for me, Chief.
The whole track is a giant dashicane, says Paul. Light them tires, you know it, Egon. You know it, my guy, you know it. So how are we doing, Mr. D to the dot 90?
I'm doing good, thanks, bro. I mean, I had about an hour's sleep, and then I had Mr. Barry ring me, mate. Mr. Barry said, right, Don, it's time to get up, lad. So I got up, and I'm good, man. I feel ready for this. I mean, Tokyo, it always cooks up a storm, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I mean, if we named this track after a chef, it'd definitely be Gordon Ramsay. Cooks up a storm, you know what I mean? Like,
facts.
So it's a pleasure to be here, mate. Obviously, another DMJ Vroom Room event, but you know if American guys know how to blow it up. So I'm here, mate, and I'm ready to add to it.
Alright, so we're just doing a quick couple lobby resets.
Do what you need to do, bro. I'm gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna let you talk away, Chief.
And there we go. We got nighttime back on our racetrack here, ladies and gentlemen, and drivers are checking in. So every driver will tick in. As soon as every driver is ticked in, it will be time to qualify, and we'll be starting off tonight with a 15-minute qualifier. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers react in qualifying. Are they going to use Slipstream, or are they going to take the risk of being stuck in dirty air on a qualifying lap and risk maybe making a mistake going into a corner and hitting a wall, having to reset that lap and do it all over again? Or are the drivers just going to space themselves out and give them each other a little bit of room and really just put each other against each other in a one-man or woman versus one-man or woman showdown? So we'll leave that up, of course, to our racing drivers here, our pro division. We're missing just a couple drivers here. What's DMJ? Well, DMJ, Sam, is a esports organization out of the United Kingdom that provides racing leagues on the Gran Turismo 7 platform over in Europe here and North America. And they also are starting to get a little bit involved on the ACC PS4 edition platform as well now over on the Europe side as well. The chat is popping off. Corey, Joe, Scott, all coming in with the likes. How's everybody doing? I think everybody wants to see an exciting race. What do you think, Mr. Dot?
Well, I think that's exactly what we're going to give them, mate, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, we've got a lot of good drivers in here. We've got a lot of drivers representing Apex as well. We've got Miss Devious, who's cooking up some storms in this championship as well. We've got LJ. We know I can put it in there. You were on about Nolander earlier in your stream as well. My guy cooks up some crazy racing on this track as well. You got Payme, who's a bit of an animal. So we've got the lobby, we've got the drivers, we've got the sponsorship. Not only we've got the sponsorship, but we've got 2 comms dudes in here. I mean, come on, guys, what more could you want? You know what I mean?
Facts, chat, facts. All right, let's get in here. Let's see what these drivers are going to throw at Tokyo here today. A lot of these drivers are very comfortable with this racetrack in this pro division. I think we're going to see some very close qualifying here tonight. I really do.
Yeah, Larry Birch there getting a good start out of that block, so he's got a bit of an advantage. Nobody's in that slip just as yet, but LJ and who's that? Streeter Tom. Them two going side by side, basically inside each other.
I was waiting for one of them to get tossed out there, but the game decided to play nice for the folks here tonight, so that's fantastic. Miss Devious tucked right in behind Jake, so it does kind of look like some of the drivers are opting to use Slipstream. Tattooed Freak's got a pit lane penalty there. That's going to cook his outlap here. And Jakey, you can see, is just getting out of the way of everybody right now. Jakey looks like he just wants some clean air. He wants his own space. He doesn't want to use that Slipstream. Our two-time defending champion, well, thinking with some strategy here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is locked really in on this championship run. He's really trying to three-peat this thing here this season, and he knows that the competition is really, really insane this season. And he has been putting in some hard work behind the scenes, so he's focused, he's locked in. So Jakey, obviously, always one to be watching out for here in the grid tonight. But as I was saying earlier in the stream, as D mentioned, we are really going to have our eyes on Nolander. I know that this track is his man's jam. So let's flip the screen so you guys can see what's going on first. How about that? And then we'll continue talking. Paymay's quick. Jake's big. LJ feels very confident here around this racetrack. I've raced with LJ and against LJ on this racetrack. He's very, very quick around here as well, and we have lots of unknowns in this as well. CRF has been showing great consistency all season long. He's always finding himself up in the top 5 every race. He is a very patient race car driver. Has been paying big dividends for him this season. Let's see if CRF starts pushing the issue a little bit here now as we're down towards our downhill slide.
Yeah, I think I might need to change names.
Sorry, chat. That was supposed to be turned off. So now that we're all deaf together, let's continue on. So we are on our official first laps here now. I think as Larry's coming around, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the information up on the screen here yet. He's just coming into turn 1. So this is going to be the official lap right here from Larry Birch. So let's hang on board with Larry as he goes around Tokyo here. Just coming out of turns 1 and 2 there. Let that boy fly. Let's go, Jake.
Yeah, I think the only problem Larry's going to have now is the fact that these drivers behind him are possibly going to have a bit of slip to play with, which could potentially help him, especially going down the straights here. So Larry's going to definitely want a good, clean, lean, mean exit out of these corners. Fast entrance, fast exit. Fingers crossed he can start pulling his purples and putting a good time while he's got clean air.
Absolutely. And another driver that's been feeling pretty confident here. He's been a little less vocal about it here over the last few hours leading up to race time, but you can see it and you can hear it in the man's tone. He is ready for a battle tonight. This is a driver that's been working really hard behind the scenes. All these drivers work really hard behind the scenes, actually, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually quite incredible to watch what these drivers do. To train, to work, to practice. They work as a unit, as one, outside of race day. And then come race day, it's all hands on deck, and all those friendships go out the window, literally. And it's 40 or 50 minutes of game on action. So a pretty incredible group that we have here at DMJ, and that's on both sides of the pond as well. So just great racing coming from all the drivers here that take part in the series.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely agree with that. I definitely know the time getting put in now. I mean, I'm just on board with Miss Devious in 4th position. I'm going to get that slip as well. So Larry's going to be setting a time there with a 158. What's Miss Devious got in the back there? There you go.
All right, so Miss Devious is sitting on pole position with that slip. LJ's in 2nd. Nolander's up into 3rd. Larry's down to 4th. Tom comes across in 5th. He's solo. Jakey's pulling Lucas along here. Let's see what Jakey's got. He's going to move up into pole position. That's going to bring Lucas in 2nd place with him. So Jakey doing all the work. Still getting himself on pole position. The champion is pushing, ladies and gentlemen. We got G-Bub and Bo here now as well. So Bo Snipe started his season last week. got very fortunate to start at the front of the grid in his very first race of the season as well. Managed to hold that position with a second place finish last week, so clearly he can race with these boys. So I'm very, very interested to see what Bo Snipe has for this division here tonight as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's great to see 12 drivers on track tonight. Tattoo Freak right there in 12. He's going to go out of the line. He's just done his outlap now, so it's going to be tricky for him as well, not having no drivers with that slip, like say Jake there putting a lap down, but he's got Lucas right behind him, Mischievous in third, LJ in fourth. I'm definitely going to be seeing LJ's times get faster and faster, so he's on a 157.393. He's definitely going to get fastest, but he's dragging Miss Devious around as well. So Miss Devious is definitely feeling devious tonight, and she's going to be shaving off them times faster than a Gillette razor, ladies and gents.
That's right, Miss Devious. She hasn't said too much about how she's feeling about this race in the off time while she's been doing her testing and tuning. So she really is an unknown here tonight. No, we had a couple drivers with injuries at the moment, so they are out for the week. Yeah, that happens. Real life sucks. Hopefully everybody heals up quick and they get right back at it again here next week.
Yeah, no longer the driver we want to keep an eye on now. He's only 100 attempts down from his lap time now off of that exit. He's currently sitting in 6th, so he's definitely got some more time to prove, and I'm seeing his times coming now though.
Alright, so how are we looking here? We got Jake's 3/10 up on Lucas. Lucas is a sliver up on LJ at the moment. He's only got a 10th on this Devious, who's got a sliver on Streeter Tom. And then we got a big gap there. We got about 3/4 of a second to CRF. Larry Birch is 2/10 in behind him. Nolander is just nipping on Larry Birch's heels right there. Bo Snipe is a little bit off pace in behind there, about a second off, and then again it starts to tighten back up. So once these guys get their actual nice, crisp, good-feeling laps in, I think we're going to see these times tighten up even more. Sticky Bandit in the house. How we doing? Team THG up in the house watching tonight. We appreciate y'all. Steph and Ian, Corey coming in with those thumbs up and the shares on the stream. Much love, everybody. How we all doing tonight? Hey, the Corey. That's right, the Corey in the house. All right, Luke is now sitting on pole position, so these drivers just swapping these things around here right now like they're candy here on this absolutely crazy fast racetrack, folks. Crazy fast racetrack.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Peyton now. Peyton's in 12th position, currently bottom of the pack. Pulling best sectors now by 4.7. He's 5.6 down the race leader. So he's gonna be moving, he's gonna be grooving, and he's gonna be right up there if he can get this last corner right and get the power down on the exit of this corner very early. Maybe give it a little bit of a short shift. You can see him there, power out very early, nearly hitting that wall, but clocking at 100 miles per hour. Just as he exits that, it's going to be interesting to see what Paymay can do. Currently sitting in 12th now, 4.9 seconds up on his best lap, but 5.6 seconds down from the race leader. What's he got in the bag, ladies and gents?
Oh, this looks like it could be a top 6 here if he can get a good run down the hill coming to the start-finish line here. So let's see as he's coming across here just right now, right underneath the Tokyo Expressway sign there, folks. It is going to be a 6th. It is a P6 time there. It is a 1:57.792, and Paymay has much more left in the tank yet. Let me assure you that, ladies and gentlemen. One thing Paymay said to all the racers in the division after last week's race, Paymay didn't have a great race last week. He told all these drivers, look out, because he's coming for the race wins the rest of the season. So do not count Paymay out. He is more than determined that he has been all season long now.
The thing is with Paymay though, we all know how good of a driver he is, but he's very confident in his driving ability, which is a very rare trait to find, especially like this, to be as confident and as good as what he actually is. So I'm definitely expecting Paymay, even if he don't qualify any higher than 6, he's definitely going to be putting a spanner in the works as the race commences. Drama unfolds, damage comes into play. There's a lot that could go on in a race, and he's definitely going to be up there tonight, putting on one hell of a show. But Jake and Lucas, there, top 2 drivers, helping each other around this track. Streeter Tom currently sat in 3rd position, and he's got Miss Devious right behind him as well. She's currently sitting in 5th right now, with LJ in 4th. LJ is going to be putting on a show for us tonight. Another driver that's completely confident in his driving ability, and it's an absolute pleasure to watch him glide around this track, ladies and gents.
Just as he throws a little wiggle there, just a little bum wiggle for the fans there, just to say hello for everybody there. Mr. Reeves, good to see how the chat is popping off. I love to seeing that tonight. Welcome in, everybody. That is absolutely fantastic. Hope everybody's ready. This is going to be a juicy race.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about Bus 94 GT45? A
All
bit of
right.
a new driver for me.
Sure. Let me find him in the list here. There he is. Ninth place right now on the list. Bo Snipe, he comes from the Gran Turismo racing community. It's another community that we broadcast for, and we work pretty closely with here at GT45 Gaming. He's been driving there for a couple of seasons. Last season, during the whole major championship, he was having disconnection issues. He was really struggling with the game. He was almost ready to give up on the game, but we kept coercing him as a community to keep giving it a shot. He got some new equipment, and he's been able to get on the track. So over the last about 6-7 months, we've seen Bo Snipe competing here, and he has definitely got some skill and only continues to get better and quicker as time goes on here now. So definitely enjoying the atmosphere here at DMJ so far, and the competition on track. He definitely is excited that the one thing he's going to take from it, he said to me, is that he knows he's immediately going to start getting better right away racing with this group of drivers. So don't count this man out. He's very smart, he's very strategic, and he's very calculated. The man understands fuel calculating and strategy on a racetrack, so he could be an unknown here today as well, but very quick driver and very calculated driver.
Yeah, definitely. I've just seen him there move up 2 positions as well, go from 9th to 7th, hitting that barrel there on the exit of that corner.
And he's still up.
Yeah, he's still up, yeah. But while you watch that, we did see some positions change between them top 3 drivers there. Jake did manage to steal that fastest lap with a 156.254. So he did move somebody out of the way. Positions did swap for a second there. I didn't quite see who did grab that first.
I believe it was Lucas sitting above him there just before that. As of course those two have been working together here the whole qualifying run, so it's not surprised we're going to see those two jostle those times around a little bit either. LJ is just doing a solo run here, and he's only half a second off of the 2 drivers slipstreaming, so it does go to show you how much the slipstream can make a difference here on the racetrack. Miss Devious is just a tenth behind LJ. We're only splitting these times by tenths, maybe 2 tenths most here now as we're running through the field here. Bo Snipe has 600ths over CRF right now. He's only got 2 tenths on Nolander. And just because Nolander's not going to qualify, well, I don't want that fool you folks, trust me. Tattooed's a little bit off the pace there in behind him, and G-Bub is struggling a little bit here from what I've seen so far. Still getting a handle on that M3 around the racetrack here maybe, as he's up against a tough field of M6s here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that I did think about going into this race. I did feel as though a lot of drivers would potentially pick a car for this race, going on the fuel capacity, give or take. I think, you know, the M6 is probably going to last a little bit longer on fuel, maybe a little bit better on tyres as well, but I mean, it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as the race unfolds later in the stages of the race. I won't spoil it because I know you don't like to give the tyre wear and fuel away that much, so, but it's definitely going to be pay an effect with the difference in car, and obviously the way the driver handles it as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race does unfold, and so yeah, definitely.
And I mean, the ultimate big question here is 12 cars barreling down into turns 1 and 2 at 150 miles an hour on cold racing hard or soft tires. So that's going to be the big question here at race start tonight, and how these drivers handle that situation, as that's probably going to be one of the most spiciest moments potentially of the race, is lap 1 here this evening.
Yeah, we've just seen Miss Devious there come around that corner and just pick up a little bit of aero damage and front rash suspension. And I mean, sitting in top 5 position right now, she's definitely got pace. But she's down 2.6 seconds there, and obviously going to have to go into the pits and get rid of that damage. So it's going to that's going to damage your chances of actually increasing her lap time and moving up the grid there.
Absolutely, and there's not really enough time for her to get back around and get another crack at it here. So it's get it into pits, get the crew working on it, and get it ready for race time here at this point, and see where she's starting on the grid. Jake and Luke wanting that 155, they pushing. Yeah, they're close. They're close. 156.254 currently right now. Jake's in the pits, so he's left Lucas out there on his own.
Payme comes in and takes 4th position right now with a 156.651. Interesting, he's moved up the grid there.
And he's going to bring it in too. He's happy with that. He's like, all right, we're going to take that. Just got him up in a nice front part of the pack there. That's where Payme likes to start. That's where he's most confident. So going to be looking for a quick early maybe push to lead. Payme will be here today.
Yeah, Lucas improves his time as well. Stays in second with a 156.272. A whisker away from Jake there.
I think we're in for a treat tonight. I think these pros are going to give us a little bit of a lesson on slipstream driving here this evening.
expecting LJ there to improve his time though, because he's right behind G-Bub, going down that straight.
They've been tucked in behind each other for about a good solid half a lap here as well. What did LJ have there as he came through? It's a 56.8. So not gaining him any position there, but it was an improvement on his time.
Yeah, G-Bub then does improve his time with a 159.365, but stays in 12th position. Is LJ trying to help him around the track, or is LJ going to be trying to get past him on the final lap? We've got Norlander as well, currently sitting in 10th with Larry Birch in 9th. CRF, I've not really spoke too much about him, but I was really impressed with his driving throughout this championship. So I'm excited to see what he can do tonight as well, flying through that corner. CRF in 8th. We've got Bo Snipe in 7th, Misdevious in 6th, Apex LJ there in 5th, right behind G-Bub. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a cracker.
On CRF, you know, he's a pretty very soft-spoken, very man of few words, but his words are very they're heard, and they're very wise as well. He is a serviceman here in the United States of America, and I won't say any more than that. I'll leave that up to him for when he makes a podium. But one of our true heroes here in the world, helping save lives, is CRF. So always love to see that as well, being a part of the series here. Streeter Tom 57.8 there, so it wasn't an improvement as he came through there.
Big respect. LJ and G-Bub, these two are going at it. It's going to be interesting, this race.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting race for sure. I mean, CRF here in 7th right now, him and Larry just coming across. Where is Larry right now? He's in 9th place as well himself. Bo Snipe coming through right in the middle of the pack there in 8th place. Nolander in 10th. Freak in 11th. I think everybody's actually finished their laps up here. I don't think we have anybody flying here.
Oh,
there we go. Yes, we do.
Not improved the lap time though.
All right, so that's a qualifying order, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. That was some pretty. Yeah, these are fast laps. These drivers are almost dipping into the 55s after the update. We've determined that roughly in the Group 3 cars, the elite drivers, the top tier drivers, are losing about a second off their original pace before the update. So these guys are right on point. Definitely right on point with the lap times here around Tokyo tonight for sure. What we'd expect to see out of this division. So. It's going to be some fast flying action here tonight. Flores coming with that thumbs up, and Nolander Gaming. Good luck, my guy. Go get these guys. Slap these boys around on the racetrack tonight, Nolander. Go get them, my guy. All right. So I believe it's a 2 minute window, 2.5 minute window potentially before qualifying is going to end. The drivers will have 2 minutes. Go a little potty break real quick or anything before to start the race. Get their starting setups in these race cars, and then we're going to go flying around this racetrack for 40 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So last week we had 2 new podium interviewees, which was fantastic. We'd love to see the new faces standing on the podium here. Let's see if we can see it again this week. All right.
Yeah, it's always good to see a new podium winner. Always good.
All right, so it is Apex Jake with a 56.25. You can see right there, Lucas less than 2/100ths of a second behind Jake. Streeter Tom is 3/10ths behind the leader there as well. Paymate just a whisker in behind Streeter Tom in 4th place. LJ is about a 10th.5 off of Paymate in 5th. Misdevious is a 10th off in 6th place. CRF is right there, just 2/10ths off behind her with a 57.229, and Bo Snipe in 8th place with a 157.4. Larry Birch is going to line up in 9th place with Nolander lined up beside him. They had 57.7 and a 57.9, and to round out the field here is going to be Tattooed Freak and G-Bub in the final row of this race here tonight. So 12 drivers start. See if 12 cars make it around this racetrack here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to all drivers. Keep it spicy. Let's go, Tommy. Oh, I think it's going to be Spicy C. Quinn coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. So drivers are already checking in. These drivers are always ready to go racing, that is for sure. Well, Mr. D, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a cracker right from the off. I think if anybody's going to get let down, I think it's going to be personal driving with a clip to walls, get aero damage, suspension damage. You know, there's no runoff on this track. There's a lot of walls, and if you go side by side, like you were saying earlier, in the wrong place, it can catch you out. It's a risk, but it's rewarding when it comes off. But in a long race like this, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Absolutely, and what everybody is also not considering at this point, the drivers are qualifying on their soft tires. Most of these drivers are probably going to be starting this race on the hard racing compound, so now they've got to make that mental adjustment immediately as they all traverse into turns 1 and 2 when those lights go green. Give them, boys. Give them. I'm not going to say that one word. You know that, Chris, but just go get them, boys. All right, so the drivers have all checked in. They're all ticked in. Let's tell our drivers good luck.
Getting the ignitions on. Let's get ready to rumble.
Absolutely. There we go. Mischievous says it best. Mischievous says it best.
Kick them tires, light them fires. Body popping, gear dropping.
That's right. That is right. We all got to have our own little thing, man. That's just the way it works, right? That's how we differentiate ourselves. Best wishes in life and on track. Y'all go get him, no lander. HE double hockey stick, says Chris. Legend. Oh, love it. Oh, alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing. We're at 5 reds, and we might see a short light here tonight. Let's go, we're green, and we're racing, folks, and that is it. It is off. Here we go. 12 cars.
Yeah, I reckon Larry Birch got flying then.
Jakey's sitting out in the early launch. We're going to jump into about the mid-pack here. We're going to jump on Miss Devious's car here as we get into turns 1 and 2. Of course, having the extra set of eyes on track tonight is going to be an absolutely huge, fantastic plus. Welcome in D.90, folks. Everybody over there on chat, hello. Let's go racing.
No worries, bro. I'm just getting ready for this replay button just in case we need to go back and have a look.
Ooh, 3 wide coming through turn 1 and 2. There's Tom, Larry Birch, and Miss Devious. A little slide there, a little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul there. Everybody continues on down through the racetrack here. Oh, and we got one driver out. Oh, now we got a little bit of a pile up here.
Larry Birch, I think it is, yes. It dropped down in 12, got front aero and back suspension damage. I'm just going to flip back and have a quick look at
We
that
got
replay.
3 cars with pretty good damage. Yeah, take a look and let me know what you think there for sure.
Just, I think a little bit of lagging with CRF. And a little bit of door-to-door rubbing, not too much in it to be fair, and I just think that oversteer on power on exit. Just a little bit of door-to-door rubbing.
Ooh, and that is going to be a rough start there for 3 drivers with damage here. We got Tattooed Freak, must have got caught up in that. He's got front suspension and aero damage as well. Larry Birch has got all kinds of heavy damage on this race car. He is really going to have to limp this thing around to get that damage fixed up here. Now the drivers are allowed to pit for damage. You can't hear. Okay, gotcha. Let's go like this a little tiny bit.
Yeah, 3 drivers have got damage. But Jake now still leading in this pack. You got Lucas right behind him. Paymate in 3rd position as well. Miss Devious a little bit back there, 7 tenths, and just catching up and jumping into that slip. But behind Miss Devious in 4th is LJ in 5th. He's also 4 tenths, but dipping into that slip. Streeter Tom is in 6th position with G-Bub in 7th. Nolander then working his magic up into 8th. Not giving too much away, but a lot of these drivers are on the slower compound as well. 9th position does go to CRF. 10th is Tattoo Freak. 11th is Bo. There we've got 2 pits going in now. This is 9th for CRF and Tattoo Freak going in. Bo goes into the
CRF
pits as well.
got damaged too. Yeah, I think we got 4 cars damaged here out of that. I think we got to call that.
That's your call, mate.
I think we got to call that, chat. We got 4 cars with damage there.
Oh, Paymate's just gone a little bit wide there as well. Oh, another little bit of an accident.
We are going to call that, chat. We're going to call that. That's a multiple car incident with heavy damage. We're going to have 4 cars that had to pit out of that. We're going to call that.
No call, bro. Straight to Tom then. Worked his way up. Paymate's in 4th. But it's all counts for naught because G-Bub's in 5th and it's all getting recalled. My mic's a bit quiet.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so there we go. We are going to call that. I just had to take a hard look at that there to really determine, break that down there. But we had, well, a quarter of the pack got collected up there essentially, so. Alright, the drivers are popping off here now.
Good call. It gives all the drivers perfect opportunity to get on track and perform the best of their capabilities. Not only that, though, it gives us, as commentators, the best content we could possibly give you guys and girls at home.
Absolutely, and we're just going to flip you over to this beauty little screen over here just for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, while we get this all reset for everybody. And we're going to let D-Dot take it off here while I do my thing here for a couple minutes.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, just going straight off that start, we saw a few drivers there, just even with a little bit of lagging, a bit of door rubbing, that oversteer, especially on these BMWs, especially in second gear, it's very powerful. It's got quite a lot of torque. I get caught out with these BMWs quite a lot in second gear, that's why I don't really drive them. But obviously with the update as well, it does pay effect, especially if these drivers are on the slower compound, which a lot of these drivers were. I'm not going to say who or what and blah, blah, blah. But with tyre wear and fuel wear coming in, especially the slower compounds getting used, with drivers jumping in the slip, not getting the clean air, dirty air catches them out. We are going to see a little bit of drama unfold. Hopefully we can get past the first lap and then and then we can continue the race and we don't have to restart it. But it's racing, it's what happens, and it's like it says, not here just in the North American region, but it's the same in the UK. We do this kind of stuff to recall restarts to benefit all parties that are involved. These drivers, as GT45 Gaming was saying prior to this, spend a lot of time practicing strategies, a lot of time trying to put the work in, and it's a shame when drivers get damaged like that, and you know, calls have to be made. And I think in this one it was right, but we've got G-Bub, LJ, Nolander, Titan Fit there, all just blowing smoke and donuts out for us, ladies and gents. Mysterious sneaking away through there. All these liveries looking absolute fire as well. But no, I think we got an early sneak peek there of what's going to happen in this race. And yeah, it is going to be really interesting. I mean, where did G-Bub start? I think G-Bub started, what, 10th? And he ended up moving right up there, up into 6th or something like that. So it's all going to be down to other drivers and the way they can respond, the way they can react to incidents on tracks, even if they can move out of people's way. It's close to close racing, and I mean, obviously, when you've got these drivers as fast as they are and the door-to-door rubbing, you are probably going to get incidents, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good race. And hopefully these drivers can keep the composure, especially with this little bit of a restart as well, and this little bit of a break to keep the composure and get their heads down and, you know, give us one hell of a show. The G-Bub there, looking absolutely marvellous. But yeah, drivers do need to be careful as well exiting the pit because they will get that 3-second penalty just like Nolander's got there. And in a race like this, it will cost you because it's not just a 3-second penalty. It will be a lot more than that with where you have to serve the penalty. So a 3-second penalty can quickly turn into a 10-second penalty with the speed that you lose. And obviously, not only that, when you slow down, you have to speed up. You're going to be using more fuel as well. All these different kind of factors. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Alright, we got that grid all set back up, ladies and gentlemen. We double checked it and triple checked it, and that's right, you're not wrong, Corey. Red flags do happen. That's why the procedure is in place for these situations. Again, like Mr. D-Dot just finished saying, here at DMJ and GT45, we just want the best opportunity for the drivers to showcase their true abilities on and off the racetrack. So, that was a good warranted situation right there, and we're going to kick it off again. So we get to do it all over again, ladies and gentlemen. All right,
we saw look it.
Yeah, we are definitely ready to go. All right, let's get it going, chat. One more time here. Now, that's one of 2 red flags allowed to be called here. So, the drivers, they only get one more crack at this. Wrong screen. There we go. It was a pretty good race start. It was just a little bit of a mistake, really. And that's all it takes here at Tokyo, of course, with well, you're surrounded by walls. Like we said, the drivers don't have any runoff room here at Tokyo, so you got to make racing decisions constantly here around the racetrack, and sometimes they got to be very quick, precise decisions as well. So let's set it up again. It was a quick light last time. Let's see if they send them off quickly here again this time around. And it is fairly quick late, so here we go. Races are off again. We're going to do much of the same thing. We're going to sit in about the mid-pack here again as these drivers come through. We got Jake in the lead, Lucas out in second place. Fairly similar start to the last time here as far as the drivers getting away goes. And here we go. Looks like we're going to be a little more patient. We're already settling into single files. That's a good sign.
LJ then looks to be going side by side with Streeter Tom. He just gets through. Streeter Tom's going to grab the inside line. No, LJ's going to go on the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact there as well between CRF, but they've all come through.
And we're 3 wide with Tom, Misdevious, and LJ here, and here we go. And looks like everybody makes it through turns 1 and 2 again, but we had the problem was just up the road here last time, so let's see how this goes here. Alrighty, drivers are getting through, and of course turn 3 is called Mayhem, and it's called Mayhem for a reason. We've seen why last time around. So as the drivers tuck it in nice and tight to the wall here, you got to get really comfortable with the walls around Tokyo if you want to be fast around Tokyo. So you gotta close your eyes a little bit, take a deep breath, and get ready to swap some paint with those walls if you really want to be quick around here. And it looks like we're settling in much better this time around here. So the chicane's coming up here shortly. And this is always a tough sector, especially with dirty air factored in. We're calling this ghost because I die here regularly.
Oh yeah, I know Freaks there just clattered into a wall. He got sucked into it there. He's got front aeros, front left and front right suspension. He's in 12th position.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there between Nolander and I believe that was G-Bub as they came out of the corner there too. But no harm, no foul there, it looks like, between those two drivers. They kept it on the track and out of the walls. And oh yeah, Freak there with some heavy front end damage there. And oh, poor Freak. Poor Freak. He got the rerun there on the first time around, but now he's going to have to limp that thing back around here and make that tough decision. And on Tokyo, unfortunately, when you got that aero damage, the decision usually ultimately leads to having to make that that long pit stop and get that thing fixed up so you don't lose more time trying to nurse it around the racetrack at a fairly significant lower rate of speed.
Yeah, I'm just on board now with 3rd position. Payme in the passenger seat. We're behind Lucas, we're behind Jake. I think Lucas is helping Jake. Payme is just gliding along in the slip, and Misdevious there is just on the hunt in 4th. Also dragging 5th position, LJ along, and then the gap starts to open up then.
We got a little bit of battling happening in this back half of the pack here as well. You got Streeter Tom making a move on Bow Snipe there, it looks like here, as they're side by side leading up into corners 1 and 2. So Bow Snipe's getting out the position there, and he tucks it right up in behind Streeter Tom, and he is out like a rocket ship, and he's going to be like, thank you very much, as Larry Birch is going to have to settle up in behind there in 8th place now and wait for an opportunity to try and find his way around Bow Snipe. That was a great pass right there by Bow Snipe. Got a little battle up just ahead between LJ and Misdevious, I believe I'm seeing there as well. And things are getting spicy.
Into 2nd position, Lucas there just hit that wall a little bit near, collected Payme keeps that 3rd position. Misdevious goes from 5th, shoots all the way up to 2nd. Lucas drops down into 5th position. LJ keeps 4th, and Jake manages to open up that little gap to 6 tenths.
Alright, so Freak has made that pit. You know, surprising enough, that pit, he's only about 20 seconds behind, so that pit only cost him about 15 seconds there. So potentially that time can be made up here with a good solid strategy here. Again, lots of time left in this race. We're only 3.5 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. And a much more settled in race here now after the restart. Ooh, Payme taking a look there. He's really closing up on Misdevious's rear bumper here, so we may see a potential move for 2nd place from Payme here as he's coming in behind. But Misdevious gets a great run out of the corner there, and she's using Jakey's slipstream a little bit here to pull away from Payme slightly. So by the end of this straight, our top 3 drivers should be all nose to tail heading into turns 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, I think Misdevious is probably going to reap the benefits of this more than anybody, though. She's well and truly in that slip, but not only that, gets that good run in that slip as well. So Purple lap coming in with a 159.132. So when it coming in at turn 1 now, is she's definitely going to have the best advantage with that big huge runner. You can see 173, 174 mile per hour getting ready to go and make that move on Jake going into turn 1.
And there we go. She's taking a look, and she's going to play nice. She's just going to sit in behind here. She's just going to, again, maybe a little decision making coming from these 3 drivers. Maybe these 3 drivers are just going to be like, you know what, let's just work together here. Let's see if we can get away from this pack a little bit. We'll battle this thing out a little bit later in the race. Right now, that was very patient driving showing by Misdevious. She could have definitely went inside and made that move, but she opted just to sit in behind Jakey. So a little bit of strategy coming into play here.
Yeah, but while they all choose to sit in that position, they do need to be careful because Lucas did drop back into 5th position, but he's just taken LJ there going through turn 1, so he's now moved up into 4th position and he's pulling purple sectors right now. All drivers there getting within inches of that wall there. Still got the wing mirrors on.
I'll be surprised if we don't see the track officials dipping over the wall there to pick up some review, some side mirrors here before this race is over today, folks. Ooh, Streeter Tom there on.
Get it signed.
When we had Larry there, he just clipped the wall on exit there. He manages to keep that car underneath of him, though, however. But boy, that was scary moments there for Larry Birch as he had that big wiggle going on down the corner there. Nolander up a position into P9 here now. G-Bub just right in behind here in 10th place as well. And these two have been really close in pace all season long. They've been very, very close all season long as far as racing together goes. So there's been lots of healthy battles between these two drivers here so far this season. Tattooed Freak, he is already making some tracks here. Looks like CRF has had to make a pit here somewhere along the way as well, and he is in behind now. So a couple drivers having some early Tokyo struggles here.
Yeah, we've still got that top 5 drivers now stretching out, going down that back straight, and Miss Devious there's dropped down 5 attempts to Jake, but that gap is closing up, and she's bringing a full army with her. So these drivers do need to be careful, need to be cautious. We're going to see a move now by the looks of it. Is this going to be Paymare?
Yeah, I believe it was LJ pulled out there, and then Lucas went to pull out, and then realized LJ was there and pulled back in the line there. So some close moments there in this top 5. And
Lucas just grabs 2 positions because Jake has dropped down. Miss Devious taking that top spot, but Jake just managing to keep that 2nd position, and he gets a little bit loose there with that oversteer and that power out. Lucas does make a pass on Paymare though, so Lucas does climb up in a 3rd, and he's going to grab that inside line. Jake there nearly lost that another position. He has lost that to Miss Devious though.
And Miss Devious leading her first DMJ race of the season here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's hear it out there. Where are our Miss Devious fans? Let's hear from Miss Devious right now up in front of Jakey here as she, well, has been playing very patient and smart. And so far, it's been paying off for her, running up in the top of the pack right now.
Streeter Tom in 6th position though, has gained a little bit of ground and he's 8 temps, so it was them top 5 drivers, now it is becoming them top 6 drivers. And not only that, Bo Snipe in 7th, he's bringing along Larry Birch as well. Larry Birch in 8th position right now, and I'm not going to say too much, but different compounds are being used by all these drivers, but 8th position is starting to catch that top 5 split.
There we go, Chad, is that a little bit better?
Yorkshire Bread coming in with the raid there. Appreciate you, bro. How you doing? As if you're still up at this time, my guy. Appreciate you, G.
Streeter Tom in 6th. We have Bo Snipe in 7th. We've got Mr. Larry Birch here in 8th. We've got Nolander in 9th, and he's closing in on these guys here a little bit. G-Bub here in 10th. Nolander's lost touch with G-Bub, so G-Bub has some front aero damage here on his race car right now, so he must have made a little bit of a mistake there while he was falling in behind Nolander. That's given Freak, however, a little opportunity to gain some time up on our 10th place driver, and CRF here trailing right now in 12th place, about 8 seconds in behind Tattooed Freak as well, back up front.
Yeah, CRF has managed to shave off 2nd though to Tattooed Freak as well, so he definitely is closing that gap, so Tattoo needs to be careful of that. Bo's just gone into the pits as well, getting rid of that aero damage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what are we thinking so far? How is our Tokyo race? It's in the dark, but boy, is it full of action. And I mean, if you're going to race Tokyo, you got to race it at night anyways. It's the best time to do it.
Oh yeah, but Jake there just managed to get that move done on Miss Devious there, going into turn 1. Miss Devious has gone back into 2nd. Lucas has worked his way back up into 3rd. Paymare in 4th. LJ in 5th position with Streeter Tom in 6th. It's feisty. It's very feisty.
Absolutely. You know what's feisty, chat? Our juicy replay button says broadcasters.
Appreciate you too. Hope you're all doing well.
All right, so we're going to see this a lot here, ladies and gentlemen.
On for you. I'm here. I just do commentating.
All right, so Lucas tucked right in behind Miss Devious. These top 5 and soon to be 6 drivers here. It looks like Streeter Tom's getting pulled into this here now as well. We're going to see them swapping positions here quite a bit over the next few laps. It is a slipstream style race here, so You have to make these hard decisions when you're racing. Jakey's going to defend Miss Devious on the inside. Miss Devious is going to look for a cutback here. Can she get the inside line? Nope. She's just going to sit back in behind and try to get a good exit, get a good run here. And look at that. All 5 drivers coming out nose to tail out of those final 2 corners. And here we go. The big, long, high-speed run down this very lengthy straight line run here at Tokyo. Streeter Tom just coming into the picture here now. This is going to soon become a 6-way battle for the lead.
I mean, LJ there got a super quick exit going out of that corner, but instead of making that pass on Paymay, gave him a nice little nudge down that straight. So LJ is definitely content with trying to catch up these top 3 drivers there, and definitely make a difference on his points going into the remainder of the season. Now you can start seeing him separating a little bit from Paymay. Is he going to make that move? He does. He takes that move on the inside line there. He goes aggressive going into this Lucas as well, grabbing that inside line on Miss Devious.
Ooh, a little bit of a tap there between Lucas and Miss Devious. And boy, are these 3 right here, right now, racing. Lucas, Jakey, and Miss Devious bobbing, weaving, swapping positions, swapping lines. And it settles out as Miss Devious in the lead with Lucas in second. Jakey now in 3rd place, followed by LJ and Paymay in 5th. So,
going good there, Yorkshire. We're plodding along.
This is quite the show those 5 drivers up in front are putting on for us here right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's for sure.
Sorry, I thought I muted them, bro.
Ooh, and we got Streeter Tom just coming out of pit lane there. Very fortunate. He doesn't pick up damage there, but getting into those barrels on the inside of that corner 1 and 2 there, and that's going to cost him a couple of seconds there while he sorts himself out. But again, fortunate not to pick up damage. So great job by the safety crews putting the right equipment out there to try and keep these drivers as 100% safe as they possibly can. High octane fuel in these race cars. You know it, Adrena. You know it.
We've just seen Jake get a little bit wrong going through that chicane, and LJ just had to lift up a little bit, but Paymay and LJ going side by side. Jake's going to have to defend off 2 drivers, but look at that, Paymay's going to grab that inside line.
Ooh, spicy racing. Jake was sitting there flirting with those barriers. He knew there was cars on the other side. Oh, spicy moments here, chat. Spicy moments. Jake now finding himself down from P1 to P5 here in about half of a lap's time. So Slipstream is the real deal here today, ladies and gentlemen. And Miss Devious now leading the charge again. Lucas right in behind. And they got a little gap right now on 2nd place. So let's see if these 2 can take advantage of this. But rule of thumb is 2 cars are going to be faster than 1. 3 cars are most likely going to be faster than 2.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that gap now, 2.4 seconds Jake is to Miss Devious. That's 5th to 1st. These guys were grouped out, and girls were grouped up for a very long time. We're going into lap 7 now. I mean, we're 12 minutes into this race. And it's just starting to spread out a little bit now, but this could be pit strategies, this could be fuel strategies, tyre strategies. We're still having some ball-to-the-wall racing though, ladies and gents. It's not over yet. We've got Norlander in 7th, trying to play catch-up. Bo Snipe in 8th. Streeter Tom in 9th. Looks like he's been into the pits. G-Bub as well in 10th position. Tad the Freak in 11th. Certainly catching up now. CRF in 12th, but this race for this top 5 position is still going on.
Absolutely, and boy, this front pack, they are definitely on a mission. And that mission right now is survive to see who gets to win. Hey, Cody B up in the house. How we doing? How we doing, my brother? Cody B Gaming from Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, up in the house. Great content creator, absolute legend in his own right. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Chad coming in with that thumbs up as well. Hope you're having a blast, my dude. All right, Lucas here. Miss Devious is doing a great job here right now, up in front, holding off the group, trying to get around here, but again, her and Lucas have broke free a little bit with that mistake there made by Jakey in the chicane, and that has maybe opened an opportunity for those 2 drivers. Paymay's starting to try and break away from LJ and Jakey in behind, but it's going to be a tough task. 1 car is going to be really hard to hold off, 2 or 3 cars working together to catch back up, and now we can see Larry Birch in 6th place is tucked right up into this as well, and we've got 4 Apex Racing cars all lined up in a row here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Lucas is going to do, because Lucas has shown his intent early doors going into this race. I mean, he's helping Miss Devious now going down this back straight, but when we're going into turn 1, is he going to start peeling off and make that tap move? It looks like he is going to try and peel off to that right. He's making little nudges to the right hand side, which tells me he's going to go for an attack move if Miss Devious can defend him.
We just had a little mini battle there, but LJ decides to stay in the lead there with Paymay. Paymay tucks back in, and we're seeing much of the same thing in behind with Larry Birch and Jakey as well. Just drivers getting out in some clean air and getting their cars ready to settle in for these corners here. So Misdevious and Lucas still doing a great job here up in first and second place, and that gap right now to the second pack is 3 seconds, so half a second gain last time around the racetrack here.
Larry Birch there, he just clips that wall, but he kept it out of the damage. But Jake has got that front left aero, front left suspension and that front aero damage. That's going to cost Jake going into lap 8. We're going to see a different pit strategy come into play from Jake now as he's got that damage. Is he going to suffer big time, or is he going to just glide it around the track and hope that he can keep with these guys in front?
If he was able to stay in that slipstream, he might maybe tough that out, but I think it's going to be a tall order for him to try and stay on the bumper of those two cars that, of course, don't have that same damage on their race cars.
Yeah, especially with that front left suspension as well. It's going to cost him, especially going through the S's, through the chicanes. And especially going into the last corner as well, leading into the big straight there, because it is a big left-hand turn. And that is where you do need to carry quite a lot of speed going through there.
Alright, so we've got LJ starting to break free from, looks like Payme a little bit here as well. So LJ now kind of on his own trying to track down Misdevious and Lucas up in front of him here. Payme and Larry Birch are now linked up here, and they're pushing each other down the road, and that leaves Jakey trailing just a little bit behind here and bleeding time about 2/10 every second here, or 2/100 every second. So he's going to have to make a decision here as he comes down into the tunnel.
Yeah, Lucas there just bumping Misdevious.
Yeah.
Down 3 tenths on his time, but that's due to tyre, that's due to fuel.
And Jakey's going to tough it out here. He decides to keep going, so it looks like Jake's going to stick to that strategy that he's got in his mind here. Push, Larry. Kevin Hart was hilarious. Glad you had a great time, Chad, my guy. There's snow on your truck. Welcome to Saskatchewan, 3 winter. Oh, brother, we feel your pain, my guy. We feel for you. M6
Larry
only?
Did make that pass on Payme in 5th, so Larry then moved up into 4th. Purple sectors as well right now, Larry. So he's got some time to gain, and he's got some points to gain as well. He goes on a hunt for LJ, who's currently sat in 3rd.
No, it is not. It is an M6 mainly dominant race here tonight, Tyler. But the M3 and the Z4 are also available each race in the series if the drivers opt to use them. We have a very heavy field of M6s in this race, and I think we have 1 or 2 M3s on the grid here tonight as well. This is DMJ Vroom Room North America Choice of Weapons Season 3, Adrena.
With plenty more seasons to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Stay tuned to the socials for those announcements, ladies and gentlemen. There's always something spicy waiting to come from DMJ. So these two are doing a fantastic job up front here, and these two weathered the storm at the beginning of the race. They broke free of the plaque, and they're not worried about who's going to win this race right now, 17 minutes into it. They're worried about how much time can they open up on the pack and worry about that battle for the lead in the last, say, 2, maybe 3 minutes of the race instead. So some smart driving here by these two right now up front. And both drivers also looking for a gain in the championship standings on those drivers up in front as well. So far so good here for Lucas and Misdevious, but lots of racing left to go yet tonight, folks.
Yeah, still lots of racing, and Larry is on a mission right now. Looks like Payme is going into the pit, so Payme is carrying that damage in 5th position on them hard compounds as well, so that's going to be interesting to see what he does when he comes out of the pits. And Jake goes into the pits as well, 2 cars that are damaged, so it's going to definitely change their strategies. We're only 18 minutes into this race.
And maybe Jakey decided to pull in because he has a car pulling in front of him. Maybe he figures it's better to try and catch up to that one car, and they can link up and try to make some time up between the two of them. So maybe that is why we've seen Jakey pit at the same time as Payme as well. Maybe, again, these drivers constantly thinking on the racetrack and how they can improve their position.
Yeah, it's definitely better to work with the driver than work against them, especially when you know you've got pace to keep up there with the top drivers. Unfortunately, damage is playing its part, and if these two can work together, you never know, you could see a top 2 finish from them both.
Absolutely. Anything can happen.
Lucas are driving right now is next level.
Alright, we had a little battle there just between G-Bub and Payme there, and we didn't quite catch it all, so we have that lovely replay button. Let's go see what happened here. All right, we do have G-Bub and Paymay side by side here as we enter turn 1, and G-Bub with that inside position gets the job done. Paymay just settles up in behind here, and they continue on with their race. Nice, clean, efficient move there from G-Bub on Paymay.
Yeah, and he's just managed to fend him off as well through that section, so that's good. G-Bub then putting his foot down, cars looking and sounding absolutely beautiful.
As always, don't they always?
Oh yeah, definitely. But Jake then down in 8th, he was holding the race lead. He has got that undercut as well. He did get an early undercut. He's now damage free as well. He's got Nolander 7 seconds behind. Nolander in 9th position. Bo Snipe in 10th. 11th position goes to CRF. Tad the Freak in 12th. And now we're starting to see these top 4 drivers going to the pits.
Alright, so pit strategy is starting to come into play here, and, well, you guys can see it on the screen in front of you. We had 3 drivers on the hard tires, and one of those drivers on the soft racing tires. So, one driver still owing that hard mandate here so far in the race tonight.
Yeah, and Street of Tom then, due to undercuts, has managed to slide into that top spot, but how long is he going to be able to last?
He's got
actually
So Lucas and Miss Devious coming back out fairly close together. Lucas gets to jump on Miss Devious, however, in pit lane here. So that puts them about 11 seconds behind Streeter Tom here currently. If they can link back up and get some of that work going that they were just showing off there a few minutes ago, they have a good chance to catch a Streeter Tom back up here before potential next set of pit stops. Larry up in 4th place here, and he's got LJ on his rear bumper here, so LJ now currently sitting in 5th place. He's been bouncing back and forth between 5th and 4th and 3rd place here at the beginning of this race as well. Paymay sitting right there in 6th place, not too far behind, and he has G-Bub now in behind him, so Paymay has found his way back around G-Bub.
Yeah, Jake in 8th position now on a fresh set of compounds, though he's starting to shave that time off too, so it's going to be interesting. It always is in these kind of events, especially at DMJ Room. Late stage of these races, strategies come into play, cards start meeting up again like they're going to go out for a dinner date. Hey, but listen, it's not a dinner date. It's a cat and dog fight.
Absolutely. Speaking of cats and dogs, this is the second driver we've seen coming on fresh, cold tires out of pit lane, catching those water barrels on the inside of turn 1 here. So this time, Bo Snipe victim of the safety barrels inside of turn 1 on those cold tires coming out of pit lane again. So again, track temperatures, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, definitely playing a factor into this race right now.
Yeah, Larry and Paymay then coming into the final turn, battling it out 5th and 6th position, but Paymay just coming out on top of Larry Birch there. Larry Birch nearly clips that wall, but he just managing to keep it out. Different compounds of tyres are being used.
Absolutely, and of course, both drivers coming out of pit lane there too at relatively the same time, but Paymay getting a great run coming out of those final set of corners there, and he's going to get the job done very quickly there. I love my replay functions. Thank you, Gran Turismo. We appreciate you.
Well, G-Bub then looks like he's going into the pits. G-Bub does go into the pits, and that lets Jake move up into 7th. And he has used G-Bub's slip there to catch up Larry Birch as well.
So that brings Nolander around here. Nolander seems to be a little bit of a different strategy than some of the drivers here appears to be tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how that strategy works out for him. And of course, he has another Rad team driver in on the grid with Bo Snipe as well. So 2 representatives from Team Rad here on the track in the Pro Division here as well with that newly founded team of Nolanders. We got CRF here in 11th and Freak in 12th. Both these drivers are relatively close together here now, and G-Bub's coming out right up in beside him here. So it sucks for G-Bub a little bit because he's not quite out to speed, so he's going to watch those two just drive by fairly high rate of speed here, but they are there. That gives him an opportunity to do a little bit of work, try to get caught up, and maybe create that little slipstream train, and of course get these cars pushing back up towards the rest of that pack.
Yeah, I mean, Street of Tom's doing really, really well right now just to maintain this gap between him and Lucas. Lucas did come out on a fresher compound, so we did expect him to shave that time off, but Street of Tom's doing really, really well to just maintain that gap. He's fluctuating up and down. Did get a little bit loose there on the exit of that final turn, but I am expecting Street of Tom to have to go into the pit sooner or later. I'm not saying what for, but that may let Lucas there catch him up a little bit. And Miss Devious still in the picture.
Absolutely. LJ and Payme about 4 seconds in behind those two. And LJ and Payme are a lot closer together to each other than Misdevious and Lucas currently are. So this may pay dividends for the 4th and 5th place driver here. And then Jakey just off in the background, just a little bit there, trying to reel those guys back in as well. So this race is far from over, ladies and gentlemen, that's for sure. If one little mistake in one of these corners is all it takes to allow that driver from behind to catch up, and we got Miss Devious going up the inside of Lucas here, so she is going to jump ahead in P2 here, and these two are linked up again. Let's see how it all plays out.
Yeah, Larry Birch then does go into the pits then on the hard compound, looks like doing a weight bake and shake them straight off. Stevie is keeping it tight and right then, so Lucas gets a little bit loose on the power out of that corner there, but he gets straight back into that slip. Purple sector to Misdevious.
And absolutely great driving by these two. These two are putting a clinic on how your enemy is your best friend sometimes on the racetrack. The two drivers that obviously clearly trust their braking points and their lines here because they've pretty much been nose to tail all race long. Hey, we appreciate you, Adriana. We appreciate you. Oh, are we going to see a little move there from Lucas? It looked like he was going to take a look there, but I think that was just him getting some clean air in that race car to make sure he got that car to turn in the way he was looking. Again, dirty air is a big factor here, especially with these BMWs. They're big, wide, heavy, big booty cars, and they definitely toss that air around in behind them.
Yeah, straight at Tom now. 13.4 seconds is the gap between Miss Davies and Lucas. And I'm guessing that's because of the battle. So straight at Tom there, getting a whole second advantage on that last lap. But he's definitely going to be losing some time there. He's going to have enough time in the pits to keep up with Miss Davies and Lucas. He's going to come down here and they're going to get a good run out as well. So that is going to affect straight at Tom.
Right now, Streeter Tom is potentially looking at just slotting in ahead of or behind Jakey on a full pit stop here, with potentially how long that these stops are for these drivers here at Tokyo this week. So as you can see, nighttime now turning into daytime here. So as that morning sun comes up, that might make these track conditions a little slippery. If they were a little moist, there's a little bit of condensation built up. That's going to draw that out of the roads a little bit. So the next few minutes of this race could get quite interesting for these drivers. They're going to have to really pay attention to what their cars are feeling like underneath them here.
Yeah, I'm just staying in the pit now with straight at Tom. He's come out in 6th position. He's 14 and he's going to end up being about 17 seconds behind the race leader by going into turn 1. So yeah, nearly 30 seconds, a pit stop there with 3/4 of a tank of fuel and a new set of tyres.
Yeah, definitely what I'm looking like. It looks like our front two have enough there to get through the rest of this race here. So right now, Miss Devious and Lucas about 4.5 seconds in control of this race at the moment from the next chasing drivers. No Landers moving up. Let's go. We got the Noli fans in the house tonight.
Yeah, I think it's all going to depend now on tyre wear with Miss Devious and Lucas. Who's going to be able to look after the tyre wear? I mean, in fuel, I think they're in a well comfy spot for fuel. They're going to know that. But it's how good can they maintain it, and especially with Lucas just getting in that dirty air all the time with Stevie's, is definitely going to be saving fuel, so that's not going to be an issue. But starting to close up now, especially Jake. He's moved his way up into 5th. He's right behind LJ. He's 6 tenths there, but it's going to help him going down that back straight with the slip. Payme is 1.7 seconds ahead of LJ now in 3rd, and yeah, it's definitely just going to be interesting now.
And Payme has kind of turned it into beast mode here right now. He has turned it up a notch. He took a second out of those two drivers up in front here just in this last half a lap alone. So Payme has decided he has waited long enough to taste that top of that podium again. He's going to start pushing now. So this could be an interesting lead up to the end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss it. If you need a bevy refresh, right now is definitely the time to go get it.
See if Lucas does a move on Miss Davies going to turn 1. He's not, he's staying in that slip then.
I believe we're going to see this end up as a final lap showdown between these two if it continues to stay like this up to that point in the race. Of course, they have 11 minutes to still continue to hold off the chasing pack in behind, but So far, so good from these two, and they have been doing a spectacular job at, well, controlling the pace of the race, essentially, by the way that they're driving around the racetrack and the decision-making that they're making up in the front of the race pack as well.
Absolutely, and Jake's managed to get past LJ down that straight, so Jake now moving his way up into fourth. He's 1.5 seconds behind Payme, and he's shaving that time off as well, so Payme does need to be cautious, needs to be careful, and needs to be consistent to lock in a podium, or even if he's got any chance of catching them drivers in front as well. But Jake now has got 7/10 on LJ, so he's extending that lead as well.
I mean, Jake is on a mission right now. We're just sitting on with him here right now, with LJ here as Jake is charging up the road, and you can see the distance growing between him and Jake, but the gap shrinking between Jake and Payme. So it's going to be some interesting racing here, I think, at the end of this race. The drivers are really starting to push up to each other, look for that position now. We got Streeter Tom in 6th place, and he's not in a terrible spot here either. If anything goes wrong, if any of these drivers start battling and there ends up being a driver into a wall or a driver making a mistake and spinning or costing themselves time, he's in a good position to maybe pick up the pieces of those things happening in front of him and get some freebies as well. So still pushing to gain that time as Streeter Tom, but not necessarily in a bad position here right now in 6th place, with all those drivers starting to close up on each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just on board with Nolander in 7th position. He's got Larry Birch behind him in 8th. Larry Birch just clipping that corner there, but keeping out of damage. But if these two can work together, potentially can catch up that front pack. But it don't look like Larry Birch wants to do that. It looks like he wants to get past Nolander. And that's going to give Nolander the advantage going into turn 1, actually, because he's going to have that slip. But
maybe a little bit of strategy from Larry Birch. The M6 is a little bit stronger on the top end of that M3, I believe, as well. So maybe knowing that, maybe Larry wanted to get ahead of Nolander there to get that extra horsepower push to get that M3 a few extra miles an hour up this straightaway.
Yeah, Jake has managed to catch up Payme as well, but Nolander's just going to sit into 8th position and give that. Oh, Larry just gets it wrong there, goes a little bit deep, and that's going to let Nolander tuck in. Larry may get a penalty there for that. But either way, he's lost a position.
Absolutely, Nolander getting the job done there. We're going to go take another little peek-sees at that, chat, since we have that ability to do so now.
Yeah, you go do that, mate. I'll keep an eye on the front too.
Oh, wow, and both drivers actually going quite deep into turn 1 there, so both with the intention to go in late on the brakes and both almost blowing the corner there. So close call for both drivers, but Nolander definitely coming out on top of that little battle.
Yeah, we've got just under 10 minutes of this race remaining, and it's a 40-minute race, I do believe.
Oh, and we have a back marker in trouble here. In behind Misdevious and G-Bub here. We had somebody spun out there.
Yeah, G-Bub spun out in 12th position.
It was, as I see him limping there, up in behind there. So, great job there from our race leaders to not get caught up in whatever happened there to G-Bub as well up in front. Just a little early on the throttle with some tire wear maybe, and just lost the back end of his race car. Most potentially what happened out of that corner. Alright, so Payme and Jakey now nose to tail here as well. So these two aren't, of course, they're savvy race car drivers, they're smart race car drivers, and they know with the amount of time left on the clock that there's no way individually they're going to catch those two up front. So these two now are nose to tail pushing each other up the racetrack to try and get back into that battle for the race win here. Very patient driving by these two. Jakey's just going to settle in behind Payme here right now. They're going to continue to see what they can do to see if they can catch those front two. If not, it is going to be all bets off, and this will become a battle for 3rd place before the end of this race. LJ a little off the pace here, 2.8 seconds in behind Payme and Jake here right now as well. But again, still plenty close enough to take advantage of any mistakes made by the drivers up in front of them. Streeter Tom is closing in on LJ. It was 11.3 seconds when we were there last time around. Now we're down to 9.2, so he's knocked 2.1 seconds off in about a lap's time as well on that driver up in front. Larry's back ahead of Nolander here, so these two swapping these positions around a little bit here on each other. So a nice healthy battle for 7th and 8th place right now between those two drivers. As we continue down the grid, we got Bo Snipe and CRF starting to make some ground here as well in 10th place. We got Bo just getting around G-Bub there, so G-Bub doing a great job getting out of the way of Bo sniping a fairly high-speed corner as well, so great job to those two drivers. Ooh, CRF just clipping that wall there a little bit, and he's got a little bit of damage on that race car, so struggling with it, getting some turn in around the racetrack here currently, which potentially leaves opportunity for Tattooed Freak to grab position here, and G-Bub struggling a little bit here, but still putting his paces around a very tough racetrack here.
Yeah, Miss Devious just still managing to hold off Lucas, but only just. I think Lucas is definitely just choosing to stay in that second position right now, which is going to keep Miss Devious definitely guessing of what he's going to be doing going into the final few stages of this. I mean, we've just got over 5 minutes left. Like I say, you've got Paymate and Jake as well, bickering and battling, pushing each other along the track with LJ No Man's Land there in 5th Street of Tom. Still going strong in 6th. Oh, that rhymes. I didn't even mean to. Larry Birch in 7th. Nolander in 8th. We did see Nolander look to try and make a move on Larry going into turn 1. But Larry went defensively and Nolander there just missed out. And then we had a back marker come into play and I think did affect it a little bit. So Nolander now just starting to drop back a little bit from Larry. Nolander sitting in 8th position. Bo Snipe then in 9th with CRF in 10th and G-Bub in 12th right behind him there. But Tattoo Freak in 11th. So it's still feisty, it's still going, and it's still pushing, and this race lead is still under threat. Mysterious managing to hold off, but Lucas clinging onto that slip.
So here's a fun little fact to chat, and I just realized this, alright? So the two drivers in front that are making absolutely top level racing on-track decisions both have real-life racing experience and both have plenty of real-life racing experience on and off the racetracks in the real world as well. Luke is currently still competing and Miss Devious no longer competing, but these two are definitely got the gears turning in their brains right now, and I think we are going to see a pretty spectacular finish here.
Yeah, going into finishing lap 18 now, 19 laps around Tokyo, ladies and gents. Been racing all night and going into the early morning. We're going to have a nice breakfast after this race. Going to fill their stomachs up, and you know, these cars are going to go into the back of the truck. Mechanics are going to have a look at them and prepare themselves for next week. And if next week's anything like this race, oh my gosh, we're going to have another cracker.
Oh, we got Nolander losing position to Bo Snipe here now. So Bo Snipe has found his way around Nolander here. So Bo Snipe starting to charge up the racetrack a little bit here as well. Battles all around the track, no matter where we look, all the time, chat. That's the best thing about this Pro Division here this season in DMJ. Choice of Weapons Season 3, they have definitely kept it exciting for the viewers at home. So GG's to our drivers for putting on an incredible show every week and putting in an incredible amount of time and work behind the scenes to be able to drive at this incredible rate of pace that they really put in week in and week out on every track we throw at them. So congrats to the drivers, because this race ain't over yet, but what a race it's been so far tonight.
Yeah, we've still got a great battle going for first, second, and then a little bit back, 5 seconds back, we've got a battle going on for third and fourth. LJ's in no man's land. Lucas there just clipping that wall, but did manage to keep out of the damage.
Moving Bo Snipe quickly gaining on Nolander. So Nolander's tire strategy maybe not necessarily working out exactly the best for him here today, but he is still having a good race for himself here today, 100% of the way. All right, chat.
Look, it's his tires more than anything. I think it's more of his fuel. I think that's why Nolander's starting to fade away a little bit. I'm thinking it's more of Nolander's fuel. He's doing a little bit more fuel saving to see if he can trickle himself over the line more than anything.
This has been some very great driving to watch between Miss Devious and Lucas here so far today. These drivers have been at this for almost 40 straight minutes, and what these drivers are doing is no easy feat. Even though we're still in a sim racing game in a virtual world, they try their best to base their physics off of what real world has to provide in racing. And what these two drivers and the two drivers in behind with Jake and Payme are doing is it requires 115% focus. And the bump draft isn't just about slamming into the back end of that car and boosting that car. A proper bump draft is about a light tap And as you can see, as Lucas and Miss Devious are here doing, you'll see Lucas even let off the throttle a little bit just to make sure he's giving just a gentle push. And what that's doing is it's actually boosting both the cars at the same rate of speed, and they're both going to gain that same horsepower. So very gentle pushing here from Lucas and Miss Devious right now, and it is paying big dividends here for him today. An aggressive push will give a boost to the front driver, but then that back driver is going to lose that time. It's going to take quite a bit of time for that back driver to gain that time back up and let that slip do its job. So there is a technique to bump drafting and slipstream racing, and those two are doing a great job of showing that here tonight. And Payme is a little tired of seeing Jakey on his back bumper here, and he's trying to open up that enough of a gap here to keep Jakey from trying to get around him here in P3. I think these two drivers realize what's going on in front of them here, and this has now become a battle for third position between those two. So we're in for it here now. We got 33 seconds left on the clock here, ladies and gentlemen, as we're coming around. So this is going to be it, I think, when our leaders come down to the start-finish line here.
Yeah, I think it definitely is Mischievous then. He's very light on fuel, and it's same with Lucas then for this first and second coming around the final corner now. This definitely on the final lap, but Lucas did fade away a little bit, but managed to catch Mischievous back up.
And right now, Lucas is at a good spot. He's about 0.3 of a second in behind Mischievous, and he's going to be looking for the slipstream slingshot move at the start-finish line. So here we go. Right down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. Mischievous is in the lead. Lucas is chasing. He's just trying to get that pole, but I think Mischievous might have the gap here. We got a back marker. She uses the back marker to get a little pull on the speed here. And is it going to be Mischievous? Is it going to be Lucas? It's going to be Mischievous. Lucas knows it. Mischievous with the win here in round 6, and it's going to be a very close second place by Lucas, and some great teamwork by those two. It's going to be Payme just holding Jake off coming across the line. It's going to be Jake coming across in P4. LJ, the solo man here in P5. No pressure, no stress, just chilling out here. Good race finish here for him tonight as well. That leaves us with Streeter Tom coming around here in 6th place from ATK Motorsports, and he barely made it here tonight. He was unsure if he was going to make track time here today, so great job to Streeter Tom. That leaves Larry Birch coming around. It's going to be a P7 here for Larry Birch, so I think he's going to be pretty happy with that finish here today. Tough track, tough division. Great placement. Bo Snipe, our new driver here in the season, his second race of the season, and showing his skill here in this pro division, coming in with an 8th place finish here today. So I'm sure he'll be pretty pleased with that as well. Nolander, he's going to get that top 10. He's been hunting those top 10s down all season. Ooh, and he ran out of fuel. CRF's gonna. Yeah, he's still going to get that top 10, though. Here we go. There we go. Top 10 for Nolanders. Of course, Freak and G-Bub a little bit behind the pack, across the finish line there last time around. So, wow. That was some racing right there, ladies and gentlemen. Great racing drivers. Well done, the entire field. Congratulations, Miss Devious, says Stefan. I can't wait to interview her. I'm pretty excited about that, actually. So, it's going to be interesting to hear what she has to say. But congratulations to Miss Devious. 5 positions raised here, starting in 6th place and coming in with a big win here today. So interviews are going to be very interesting today, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait. We got another new interviewee this week. That's what we love to see. So unofficial results, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen in front of us here. Now we say unofficial because the drivers now have 24 hours from the time at the end of the race to file any incident reports, of course, if needed. And then the stewarding staff takes a look at that. They release their reports, and then if the drivers, of course, don't agree with that, they do have an option to appeal that decision. And then that goes up the chain to head office, and they make their decision, and that decision, of course, is final from there. So beautiful process here that DMJ has provided for the drivers, and it works pretty well. So unofficially, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we say unofficially, is Miss Devious here in 1st place with Lucas in 2nd place. Great teamwork by those two, and it gets them both standing on the podium here tonight. Apex's Payme is going to come in with 3rd place, and for the 6th straight week in a row, Payme is going to take that fastest lap on the racetrack with a 156.924. Those bonus points are very crucial, as we've seen in past seasons here at DMJ when it comes to those year-end standings. So Payme still picking up great bonus points here, even though only coming down in 3rd place today. Jakey, our defending champion, is going to just fall off podium here in 4th place, 7 seconds in behind that race lead. A little bit of a mistake made early on in the race, and that may have been his defining moment here today. LJ in 5th with Streeter Tom in 6th place. Larry Birch, a very hard fought 7th place. Bo Snipe grabbing an extra position there late in the race, get himself into an 8th place finish. That brings Apex Racing CRF in 9th place, with Nolander in 10th place, just in behind Freak in 11th, and G-Bub here in 12th place. 12 cars started, 12 cars finish. That's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to each and every one of our drivers. Mr. D, thoughts?
No, yeah, absolutely brilliant yet again. And yet again, great to see another podium winner. Some drivers there making some little mistakes, which is easy though on Tokyo, especially with the weather change as well, a bit of moisture on track like you were saying pre-race. Um, but there's no runoff on this track, so if you do get a corner wrong, you're met by a wall, and it can cost drivers, as you've seen. Jake got front aero damage. Paymay got front aero damage as well. So, you know, if that wouldn't have happened, then maybe they would have been right up there. But no, a fantastic race by all. Great ethos as well by all drivers. Keeping it lean, mean, and clean, and kept on going right till the end. So, congratulations to all drivers, man. And listen, it's points in the bag. There's next week to come. Keep fighting, keep battling like gladiators in an arena, and you know, you keep creating great content like this. I'll definitely be tuning in or doing the comms with you.
Hey, we love to have you here. You always make a spice of the chance. I've been just raving about the commentary here tonight. They always love it when we get together. So, fans definitely enjoying the talks here. But you know what? The commentators can't do our jobs without the amazing action on the racetrack. So again, GG's to all the drivers here tonight. Had a little bit of a we had to call the red flag at the first start, but you know what? That's the way it goes sometimes. That's racing. Everybody's excited. Everybody's ready to go. One little mistake was made. Got a few drivers caught up in it. We let those drivers get those cars fixed. We lined them back up and we sent them out again. And boy, oh boy, the restart provided an absolutely beautiful race tonight. So let's talk to those podium finishers, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Apex Racing's Paymay coming in here with a third place finish tonight. He did come in saying that he wanted all 5 wins at the end of the season here, falling a little bit short here tonight, but good, patient, good, strong, good strategy here tonight, and finding yourself in P3, but you had a tough battle there holding off the defending champion there near the end of the race, so talk us through it, my guy.
Yeah, I just tried to pretty much stay back from the get-go. If I couldn't get that first hole shot into the first corner and try to take off, then I was just going to sit back and save, which I did pretty well. I think I had saved like maybe 9 or 10% more fuel than Jake when we pitted. Yeah, damage was costly as well. I think that's the whole reason me and Jake were both 5 seconds behind Luke and Devious. But yeah, overall pretty good race. Happy with the result. You know, of course I want that P1, but it could have been a lot worse. So happy with today's result.
Absolutely, and I mean, still you got that fastest lap bonus point as well, and you've taken every fastest lap bonus point here so far this season, so definitely stacking up the bonus points. So extra point there for you in the race here today as well to add to that third place finish. Mr. D, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, going into the last few laps, you had Jake right behind you as well. I mean, what we thought on that, did you think Jake was going to help you? Did you think he was going to push on you? I mean, do you think he potentially slowed you down as well to catch up Luke and Mischievous? I mean, you know, Jake's there, he's hounding, you know what he's like. But, you know, what were your thought process on that? Were you defending too much or not enough? Or
No, I was really hoping that LJ and Jake could have caught up to me, and we could have drafted because us three drafting together, we would have definitely caught up with the front runners. But I ran 2 or 3 laps. I think it come down to like lap 14 or 15, and then Jake finally got behind me, and which I did some swerving on the lap before just to see if they could catch me on the straight. But yeah, at that point we got to the next straightaway, and I could tell Jake was saving fuel, so I kind of spent the last few laps just taking it easy on the straights and then going as hard as I could in the corners to try to get away from him. And I was lucky enough to get away from him on that last lap.
yeah, well, great work. Keep going, mate. And congratulations on a third finish and fastest lap as well.
Thank you very much, D. Appreciate you.
Oh man, keep the hard work up. It's good.
All right. Well, I mean, was there a point? What point, I guess, near the end of the race was it that you and Jake probably realized that you weren't going to be able to catch Lucas Misdevious without a mistake by those two up in front? When did you realize that that was becoming a battle for third place instead of a potential battle for the win?
Probably whenever LJ dropped out and we got through the straightaway and Jake wasn't catching me as fast as he should have, so I just automatically knew he was fuel saving. So from that point on, I was like, all right, well, it's game on, bro. I gave you some time to work with me if you wanted to, but I'm gonna have to drive a little defensively now.
Absolutely, and I mean you're chasing Jake in the championship standings, and you know that. So getting that one position ahead of him, obviously gaining a little bit of ground in that chase for the championship points as well. So, any final thoughts and any shoutouts?
Yeah, no, just thank you guys. Thank you, Ghost and D. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button, Um, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for commentating and giving us this platform. It's a darn good time every week. So yeah, thank you to everybody that showed up. Appreciate the team for always having my back, even though when we're going head on head, I know it's all love in the end. Yeah, that's about all.
Well,
Congrats to
Jake
Miss
told
D
me
and
he don't even
Lucas as
like you.
well.
sorry, go ahead, D.
I said Jake told me he don't even like you, pay me.
Well, that's cool. I guess feelings are mutual.
Well, nonetheless, again, another podium finish here for you, Paybase. So, you're still rolling down the racetrack strong. 4 rounds left. What is the focus now?
Uh, just to push it every week, I got to be. I guess if I'm going to be close or anywhere close to winning this thing, then I'm going to have to try to finish first every race. So just kind of picking apart the strategy and figuring out what everybody else is doing, and kind of just I got to figure out how to get faster and separate myself.
Um,
One question for you though, mate. How are you gonna do that though? I mean, throughout this championship, it's just a question like because throughout this championship we've seen numerous winners, we've seen numerous podium finishes. So I mean, like, there's no real standout driver in this championship. I mean, who is your threat then? If you're coming and saying you want to finish first, who is your biggest threat for you right now, Payme?
It's of course Jake. I mean, two-time defending champ. He's already got a good lead in points now as it is. So I gotta I got to kind of pick him apart. And just hope that he does a lot worse than I do in the races.
Oh, bloody hell, there you were, chat. You heard it there first. The battle will commence between Paymate and Jake. It's just been made personal. It is on. No, I'm talking about that. But no, it's going to be great. I mean, like I said, I had to ask that with Miss Devious coming in, Lucas as well. I mean, not only did they get first and second, but the quality of the driving as well. LJ, I mean, there's some great drivers in this lobby as well. That's just to name a few. But no, mate, congratulations on your third position, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And fingers crossed that you get that top spot.
Absolutely. I appreciate the guys.
Thanks, Paybe. Appreciate your time as always, my man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Payme is always very well spoken, and Payme is very focused. He knows what's at stake, and he knows what it's going to take. So, be looking out for Payme in the next 4 rounds here. But the next two drivers that we're going to talk to here, we'll start with our second place finisher here tonight, Lucas 36. Now he had missed a couple weeks due to obviously real life track racing, but back at it here now. He had a disconnect last week. Actually, he was on the track last week. It just didn't go well for him, but he gets a good run here this week. So, congratulations first and foremost, Lucas. That was a really great driving, and you started the race out really well, right in behind Jake and working with Jake, and then mistakes were made or something happened, and then Miss Devious ended up overtaking you, and you decided just to team up with that driver, and for the rest of the race, you two worked extremely well together. So talk us through your race, and I guess talk us through what it takes in order to drive behind a car for 40 minutes straight like that, essentially.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. As always, appreciate you guys doing what you do. No, yeah, it was good fun race. Very fun. The first start, my whole plan, even in qualifying, I mean, me and Jake, we bump drafted together the whole time, and we were 1 and 2. So my plan was work with the driver I know best and follow him and just push, get away from everybody. We got the red flag, and it's like, all right, we can do this. Well, the second start was a lot more bunched up. Was starting to work with Jake, and then Miss Devious made a very ambitious but well-placed move on the inside, overtaking 3 of us. And then I got shuffled back to 5th, I think, and then worked my way back past LJ. Got Peyton on a run, I think, down into turn 2, as well as Jake. And then, just hooked up with Miss Devious, and that's all I wanted to do, push, get away from everyone as much as we could. Second place here, in a sense, is like NASCAR, Daytona, iRacing. Second place is a win for me. It's a win. I'm not upset. I was trying, the last 5 laps of the race, I was just trying to time, when can I get Miss Devious on the straightaway? When's the best time to do it? Like, if she's swerving, what is she going to do? And I decided I wanted to try to do a photo finish, and I chooched it. I chooched it all. But otherwise, it was too fun. Too fun.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen this style of driving from you in other races and other leagues throughout the Gran Turismo platform as well. So I'm not that surprised to see you be the one to really just choose to settle in behind another racer and work with them and then fight that out in the last couple minutes of the race. Now, does that contribute to your real life track experience?
Yeah. So I mean, it's when you're behind somebody and you're following them, you can see what they're doing, where they're making little mistakes, where you've got runs on them, and you can build a strategy in your head, in a sense. And for me, it comes from doing like some wheel-to-wheel racing and like spec Miatas, Honda Integras, CRXs, and stuff like that, as well as my Escort. It's just, you got to think it through. It racing really does come down to smarts, as well as, I mean, the ability to drive the car. If you can think it through, just be patient. Don't overdrive the car. Be smooth. Like in the dirty air behind Miss Devious, there was plenty of times where, if you look at my telemetry, that right foot is just going ballistic because I want to get on throttle, but I can't because of the dirty air, and I'm trying to force the car. Well, it translates really well from real to sim or sim to real life. It translates. It takes time. It takes time, like with anything.
Absolutely. Well said. And Mr. D, you want to take it away?
No, yeah, I mean, as you were just saying, first off, nice to meet you, Lucas.
This is the second time, my guy. Second time.
My guy. I know, but say it again. But no, yeah, as you were saying that and you were explaining your real life driving, you're patient, you're waiting for mistakes. I mean, I was sat here shaking my head because, I mean, I don't know if you've seen me race or do all like that, but I'm a very patient driver, and I could kind of guess that he was trying to time that back run off that back straight right, but you're 1/10 down. But I mean, were there any point throughout that race where you felt like you could have probably got past Miss Devious and maybe made an advantage, or did fuel strategy come down to staying behind her as long as you did, or?
No, so if you at the pit stops, I think I had like a percentage or 2 more fuel than Miss D, and I put in a percent or 2 less than her. So I got the undercut on her out of the pits, and I had like a 1.5 second gap thereabouts to 1.2, and was maintaining that for the first 2-3 laps. And I could just see on the mini map that Peyton, LJ, and Jake, they were forming up, and they were going to catch us. If we did not get together, they were going to catch us. So I intentionally slowed down, and if Miss D was going to push me, cool. If she went by me, all right, I'm going to fall in line, and let's go. Let's get the hell out of here, and let's fight for first.
I like that. I'm slightly shaking my head again because I actually do like you've surrendered a bit of your time there to potentially secure a position. I mean, if you get second position throughout a numerous amount of races, and Miss Devious finishes 8th, 9th, in next race Jake finishes 6th, you're in there end of the season, you gained yourself some quality points, aren't you, through strategic points, or what I like to call them. So well done on that, mate. Fantastic to watch, and fingers crossed you get another podium next week.
Oh, I'm going to be pushing for it. I would say this is all for fun for me at this point, since I missed 2 races and then had the atrocity of last week. But no, yeah, I'm just here to have fun and maybe give Jake a little headache and give Peyton and LJ a chance. Either way, I'm just here to have fun, and I love racing with everyone. This is too fun.
Nah, keep coming, mate. We love it, and you're creating some great content as well. So once again, thank you, and well done.
Thank you as well, Tim.
And of course, I mean, that was some great question there from D. Actually, that would about cover what else I had left to ask. So, great minds think alike, ladies and gentlemen. What can we say here in the booth? But any final things you want to add to that, and of course, any shout outs?
I mean, first and foremost, the both of you. Thanks again for being our hosts, setting us up. My drivers here, the Peyton, Miss Devious. Good job to both of you on podium. LJ, Jake, the Apex guys, like they've always been behind me as well. Yeah, I just can't thank you guys enough.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, and great smart decision making out there tonight with a nice strong second place finish, carrying some great points for you to start trying to charge back up those standings. So, as always, we appreciate you taking some time here after a very long, hard fought battle, and we'll let you get back to your team and your car and get prepared for Daytona next week.
Thank you. Y'all take care.
Thank you very much. Whew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tough questions for our drivers tonight, but they seem to be up to the task. All right, everybody, get your hands up in the air. The Miss Devious fans have been here all season long, rooting her on and cheering. Today is her day. First place finish here for you today, Miss Devious. I guess first and foremost, how you feeling? And talk us through your race.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Shout out to you and to D, of course. Love the series. Absolutely love it. As for the race, I knew that after my dismal performance at Seaside that I really had to redeem myself. So I put in a lot more effort in the practice, dedicated a lot more time to it. I think it shows. But made some aggressive moves. They panned out. Found myself with Lucas. Decided that would work well with him for at least a little bit. And then I managed to get by him, and I thought at any moment he was going to get by me, but he decided to work with me instead. All right, game on, let's go. So in the pit, he really got the undercut. I was really surprised by that because I took just enough to get back on the track and finish the race. But that's just how it was. Couldn't catch him, and then when I saw that he had tagged the brake just a little bit to slow himself down, oh, we need to pay attention and fall in line. But I was running a purple lap. I wanted to claim that, so I went ahead and get past him on that, and he fell into line, and away we went. And then the rest is history.
Absolutely. No, I guess it's a leading driver in that situation. I mean, the two of you were nose to tail for a large portion of the race. I would probably say a good solid 85% of the race, working quite well together. How much does that pay a toll on in the back of your mind going, okay, when's he going to make this move? Because you know at some point he's going to want to try and take that position and get that race win. So how much does that play into your race near the end of the race as you're going around the track? Do you start thinking about defending a little more, or do you just have trust in your own ability to get that better exit when it counts the most?
Well, that final turn, I noticed that he was not getting through that turn as quickly as I was. Not sure why, but that's exactly what I was noticing. So I figured that if I had an opportunity in the last lap, that would be the spot that he would make his move. So armed with that, I figured that if I had to defend it, I would break the toe as much as possible, and let the cards fall where they may. Second place is still an outstanding finish, especially at this track. So I wasn't going to fight him too much for it during the race. If I follow him, great. He follows me, even better. But shout out to Luke, though. Gave me a push in the right time, didn't overdo it. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Kudos, Lucas.
Absolutely, and that really was. We know what it takes, of course, myself and D-Dot, what it takes to drive like that for that extended period of time, factoring in dirty air and no runoff room for the drivers in case one makes a little mistake, it goes in a little hot. You guys really did do that to perfection here this evening, and it shows by the results in the race. Mr. D, take it away, my guy.
Hey, Miss Devious, it's a pleasure.
Hey, how are ya? Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, you too. So, first question, obviously, you've just give Lucas a big shout out, and I think rightly deserved both. You need a shout out as well. But I mean, being a leading driver, I mean, not even just a leading driver, you could be fourth racing against fifth. When you've got a car right behind you, I mean, that can potentially affect your lap time in a certain way. I mean, you were holding really consistent pace. I mean, you were the second fastest driver on track tonight, even though you finished first, second fastest
Oh,
driver
wow.
on track tonight. Lucas actually Jake got third, Lucas got fourth. But I mean, were there any point in that race? How much have you raced with Lucas before? I mean, were there any point in that race where you were looking in your rear view and it kind of affected your lap time, or did you trust him enough throughout?
Yeah. So early on in the race, when he was behind me, I was concerned. I know he's incredibly fast. I know he could pass me whenever he desired. But it wasn't going to happen through all the twisties. So, not unless, of course, I made a mistake. Otherwise, it would have been in the uh, front straight. And then when he didn't do that, all right, you want to work together? Awesome. Let's make this work. Let's see how long this is going to last.
No, yeah, good. I mean, it was definitely great to watch. I mean, you could definitely clearly see a lot of trust through that, and you could see him lifting off early as well. Like you were breaking at 100 mark, you were lifting off at
Right.
150. So you know your shout out will definitely bang on the money. But hey, listen, I take my house to you, man. What an absolute cracking race that was, and what a cracking drive that was. Second fastest driver on track as well. So keep that pace up, keep smashing it, and
Thank you. Not even going to try to hide it, but I was trembling at the end of the race. No joke. Adrenaline was just pumping, fingers were trembling, just everything. Had an outstanding run. Like I said, shout out to Lucas. He was right there with me, helping me out. Appreciate that. Of course, if I went the other way, I would have been right there behind him as well. As I said, the only reason that I passed him was on that particular lap that I was coming up behind him. I was running purple, and I wanted to take it. So
you nearly did. Just a whisker in it. But no, I mean that just goes to show what sim racing can do, what it means to you guys, what effort you put in. So, you know, a big shout out to each and every single driver on track. But congratulations on that victory.
Oh, thank you.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. DMJ has now officially had its first woman competitive race car driver pod in a big time win here in the North America version. So, history making race for you tonight, Miss Devious. Congratulations on that as well. A little bit of an extra milestone for you to tuck away in your wall of trophies there. And I guess anything else you want to add to your race, and any final shout outs?
Well, I had a really good run with the car. The car misbehaved on me a couple of times, but I was managed to keep it under control and keep the car underneath me. A shout out to all the DM drivers. I look forward to the race each and every week. No joke, this is the highlight of my week every time. Every time racing in the DMJ, highlight every time.
And that's the highlight of my day hearing that. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. You guys put on a hell of a show. What more can I say?
Well, we can't put on the show that we put on without the amazing drivers that we see on track every week. So that goes out to you and the other 11 drivers on track tonight, and of course our 3 missing drivers here due to real life reasons tonight. We can't do it without you, so we really do appreciate all the effort and amazing work that every one of you put in. And the fans definitely love your track maps as well, Miss Devious, so we appreciate that as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm a fan.
I do put quite a bit of time into that, so that means a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm a fan. Just saying. Stop kissing your ass now, but I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you, Dee. Appreciate that.
So now, I mean, you're sitting good in the standings already. You're up in the top half of the standings here in the season. Did you find yourself sitting there, I guess, at this point in the season? And now, what's the goal with the last 4 races heading towards the championship run here?
My goal was to try to repeat my performance from tonight's race. Whether or not it's going to be a podium finish remains to be seen. These guys are incredibly fast. Insanely fast, I might add. So the fact that I was able to take first means I got lucky and I was being consistent, which is the mainstay of racing. So just do the best that I can and see what I can do with the upcoming race. races rather, and put in, dedicate as much time to practice as possible.
Absolutely. That means she's going to have to take some time away from our track map so she can keep kicking butt on the racetrack, chat. No, we're just kidding with you. We appreciate, of course, we appreciate everything you do here as well from myself here at the page. Obviously, and behind the scenes, you put in a lot of work to the series, not, to help it look better on stream, but to make it more exciting. But you also put in a ton of work to drive at your absolute best and better each week, and we really do appreciate it. So, again, thank you for taking some time to come and, pardon me, speak with us here this evening. And any final things you want to say before me and Dee send this off here for the evening?
Well, I would say just one thing really. All the fans that are out there. When I first started watching the broadcast from you, actually, it really got me fired up into doing the sim racing and getting more involved. So rather than just be a fan, come join us. Bigger fields is always a whole lot more fun.
Absolutely. And drivers of all skill levels are always welcome because we're always willing to help everybody get better and better and faster every week.
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you. And again, well, thank you for taking your time. And, go celebrate your very hard-earned victory here this evening.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Guys, I hope you have a great night. And thank you to everybody for the DMJ. Greatly appreciate it. And thank you to the fans. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Sorry about the computer bings, chat. My computer's noisy today, what can I say? But I appreciate everybody. The chat was really dialed into those interviews. They didn't speak a peep during those interviews, so I think that the fans really enjoyed hearing our drivers here today. And I think there was a little anticipation to hear what Miss Devious had to say. Obviously, with the one thing we don't see often is female sim racers competing on a competitive level like this. So we do love to see them come out on track, and we love to see it even more when they succeed and come out on top of the grid. So congratulations to Miss D on her first win here at DMJ North America, and hopefully to many more podiums to come for her. But not to take away from Lucas. I mean, Lucas was a big part of that win here tonight, and he was also a big reason, the teamwork, getting him on second place here tonight, putting them both ahead of the guys up there on the top of this championship standings. Payme, Jakey, LJ, all first, second, and third place in those championship standings coming in tonight, falling in behind the two drivers chasing them in the point standings. So all that means, folks, the standings just got a little bit tighter moving into Daytona next week. Thoughts, D?
No, I mean, there's not really much you can say. I mean, we got to witness it firsthand, so I think witnessing it. If you didn't get to witness it, rewind the stream, either mine or GT45, you won't be disappointed. But we got to witness it. I mean, we've had the interviews from the drivers, top three drivers as well. I mean, it would have been interesting to get LJ and Jakey's and even Street of Tom's interview as well. To be fair, with how close they all got to each other. But I just want to say as well, going off the back of what Miss Devious just said then, you need to take a little bit of credit to yourself as well, GT45 Gaming, because it's you that's brought these drivers in. It's you that got Miss Devious interested into the sim racing, so you need to take a little bit of credit for this as well. On behalf of DMJ Broomland, we want to thank you for all the work you're putting in, not just you, but the drivers and people like Miss Devious working in the background, to your admins and mods. To Jake as well, also giving me a ring, getting me out of bed to come here tonight. But that really hit home what Miss Devious said then, mate. Like, you have made an impact to this championship, so not only that, but bringing drivers to sim racing as well. And Miss Devious is doing the same, trying to bring drivers to the sim racing world. So mad shout out to you for that, mate, and mad respect. Keep smashing the back doors off it like it's nobody's business, and big things will happen, mate.
Well, you know how I am, chat. I don't like to take all the credit, so teamwork makes the dream work, baby. It takes a team to make all this happen, whether it's right from up top, right down to the volunteers, especially our volunteers. We can't do it as creators. I can't do it without my help, without my staff, without my people that give me their time. And all they do is do it out of the love and respect for what we're doing and for what we're growing here. And we can't do it without that. So the volunteers too. I mean, the volunteers always get the biggest thank you from me, because at the end of the day, the volunteers are the heart and the soul, not only in real life racing, but in the sim racing world. Tracks can't do it without them. We can't do it without them behind the scenes, keeping things moving right and tight as well. We're just a vessel here as content creators. You guys are the real legends out there, the viewers, the drivers, and everybody that participates in behind the scenes. I can only make content if there's content to be made in front of me, so it does take a team, ladies and gentlemen, and that's just the way it is. So I try to stay as humble as possible because, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this experience, the content creating, the commentating, the working in partnership with DMJ over the last several months has humbled me. It's changed me as a person. It makes me look at life completely differently, and it's changed me and made me a better person. So I'm just trying to repay the favor back to my community now. So thank you for that.
Keep smashing back doors off it, mate. As long as we're all smiling and having fun, then we're doing the right thing, right?
Absolutely. And we're going to have some highlight reel moments for sure next week out of this pro race. There were some great racing moments there. So, of course, like we do every week, we start the stream off with the highlight reel. But what we haven't done yet this year is ended that stream off with the highlight reel. The drivers have been asking for it because they always miss it at the beginning of the stream. We are going to post them individually to the YouTube channels and the Facebook channels as videos as well for you guys at the end of the season. Just in case you're missing a little bit of that action, we're going to recap it for everybody. But we're going to kick this stream off here with that juicy highlight video that we made up here for everybody from round 5 at Seaside. And I hope you all enjoy it. Again, D-Dot, always a pleasure to have you come and kick the door in the comm box with me, my man. These racetracks need to start reinforcing these things because they can't handle these two fiery commentators in the box, let me tell you.
Get your fire extinguishers on ready. But no, guys, girls, thank you for having me. Good night, God bless, and may the downfalls be with you all.
Absolutely. Thank you again for being here, D. And, either go back to sleep or grab yourself some good breakfast there, my man.
I'm not back to sleep. Good night.
All right.
Bless.
Cheers, brother.
See you soon, mate. Bye.
All right, chat. That was some really great stuff. We appreciate you. We're going to catch up with some comments here. What do we got? Great race and all. Congrats, Miss Devious, says Matt. Newsflash, no lander fired as fuel man. Position on the crew available, says Stefan. Good race, says Ginger. Good job, Payday, said Cody B. Glad Peyton's voice started smooth. Yeah, I was trying to control the volume a little bit again, John. Sorry if it got a little bit loud and quiet, guys. Stefan, congratulations. Congrats, Miss D. Well done. I was a low-key fan of Miss Devious before, but now definitely more so now. Only caught the last 2 minutes of her interview. Thanks to, once again, my pain in the butt dog. Well, that's right. Like G said, there's a rewind button on the stream, my guys, so you can catch it later. Great comments as always, gentlemen. 2 gingers in the box. Surprised it's not on fire. There might be some emergency crews heading our way right now as we're jumping out the windows to survey to safety. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick off that highlight video for everybody. I hope you all enjoy it. And we'll see you tomorrow night for our Pro-Am Division Round 6 here at Tokyo East Counterclockwise Loop. Hope you all had a great start to your week. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so happy hump day. Stay winning. And remember, folks, you all matter.
never let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it